Hmm. Hey, Catrice. All right, I'm about to put you in now. Let's see. There you are.
Come on, ass. Wait, hold on. Alright, there you go.
Yeah, girl. I figured it out.
We won't be professionals by the end of the night. What? Professional, IG
Trial and error.
professionals.
I'm saying I went live myself. Just a minute.
Oh,
Trying to figure it out. But we got it. We got it.
we on here?
Okay, so basically part two of When Models Talk with Terry Lisa. Terry, I can't.
I'm still here, guys. I can't.
So,
Hold on, I'm gonna get my camera
um,
right.
so basically I was saying that you got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying
So
to get
basically I
myself
was
together.
saying
Alright, I'm done. I'm
so
ready.
so basically I believe I was talking about the fact of my experience when it pertains to modeling.
Mm-hmm.
So we started off wanting to model, me and my twin sister, back in maybe junior year of high school. And that didn't work out so well because you had to send VCR tapes in. You couldn't make it to the casting. You remember the VCR.
Right.
So it was more of that didn't work out. And on top of that, our video did not have sound. And it was in black and white. We didn't know what we were
Wow.
doing. So we wind up just writing everything. And that's how bad we wanted to be models. We wound up writing everything that we said on the video, sent in with the VCR that had no sound, and it was in black and white. And yeah, I wish I still had the tape. That's so terrible. I wish I had like a double tape so I could just look back at it and just laugh. But then fast forward, I just wasn't interested in but my sister, my twin sister, she
Mm-hmm.
started modeling. I forgot
Okay.
how she got into it, and then she wanted me to model with her, but I was like, no, I'm a mom. I want to be home with
Mm-hmm.
my kids. I don't mind being, stay-at-home mom. I'm cool. But it turned into, so I never did it with her. But she
Okay.
did excellent at it. She almost got on the show for Tyra. But, and when they
Okay.
was doing the castings again,
Mm-hmm.
but during the last part, where the next step would have been on the show, they had her. I forgot the guy's name. He was a black male. He can walk his behind off on the show. He was a runway coach.
I
So,
know this. This
so
is
she's
so
in the room
bad.
with him and all the other models though, and literally, they told her to walk down the runway, and when she went to go walk, he told her what not to do. She did
Mm-hmm.
everything he told her not
Ah, Miss
to do.
J.
Then,
I just
yep,
realized Miss J. Okay, this one
exactly.
drive me crazy if I didn't figure it out.
So, but she did everything she was told not to do, and she fell
Right.
and got up and laughed. So, of course, she didn't pass to the next round,
Right.
but she still modeled and she still continued doing stuff. But then, once she stopped modeling, a couple years later, that's when I started, and I wanted her to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, it just didn't work out. Where now she doesn't model at all, but I'm still modeling.
Right.
Yeah. But as far as the industry is concerned, I really haven't had too many bad experiences at all. I think I've had more great experiences because I feel like that's where God has me, what He has me doing.
Right.
And it's crazy because when I was young, I was shy. I didn't want to do. I wanted to
Same
be in the
here.
background. I hid my face. I covered my body up. Everything that everyone sees is beautiful now, I did not see
Right.
it beautiful at all. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
ugly.
Yeah.
And but when I got older, people always say, okay, you're beautiful, but you don't really, you can say it all you want. If a person doesn't
Right.
believe that they're beautiful, it doesn't matter.
It's a completely different
So
story.
until they tap into their beauty and realize that they're beautiful. So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try this modeling thing and see how it works out. But when I say every single experience that I've had, I've booked jobs, I've gotten everything because of the fact that I just always had a good mind. I always came in positive. I never came in negative thinking I'm a diva. Even it doesn't matter what I was doing. I was always like, how can I help? How can I be of service? What can I do? And it wasn't because I wanted to get a leg up. It was more of, that's just my personality. So me working with photographers, me working with designers, a lot of people I still talk to this day, because even the universities and the colleges, all that is because I just always got a positive mindset, a positive attitude everywhere I go. So
I get you far.
I really haven't had too many issues, and I really haven't had anything that, maybe an experience that someone else might have had that wasn't good.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I have had bad experiences, but my good outweighs my bad. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yes.
But I have a question for you.
Okay. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay, so what do you prefer or love the most about modeling, pertaining to modeling? What do you like the most about it?
The most I love, well, first I love trying on like the different, or wearing the different clothes and the fabulous like designs. Actually seeing the process of it being muslin to actually final design on the runway is an amazing process to see as a model. I definitely meeting new people, meeting different people.
Okay.
Let's see what else. I just love meeting new people, traveling, the clothes. I love it all.
Girl,
The
you find out
the energy I get on the run while I'm on the runway.
Yeah.
What? And on a photo shoot. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it all.
So what is something that you want to accomplish now that you have not done yet? Or not just now, but in the future pertaining to modeling?
Well, definitely more campaigns. So definitely doing like bigger campaigns, bigger jobs. I definitely want to get a few covers. Well, my sister, hey sis, my sister joined. But yeah, definitely covers and doing bigger campaigns and commercials. So definitely want to explore the more commercial side of things.
So what are some ways that you think that you can do that? What are some tips that you can give people if they want to get into that or get towards that? How can they do it? Is there a particular avenue that they can take to get to that level? Meaning to a commercial, being able to even go to castings. What can they do as far as a model? This is how I want to word this. As far as a model is concerned.
Like model in general and getting into the industry, or like as far as to get to that level?
Matter of fact, I want you to talk about how to get in the industry. And once you get into the industry, how can you book jobs? And not just any job, but how can you book a really, really great job?
Now, first, to get into the industry, because I get this question a lot, like, how do you get into the industry? I asked that a few times before when I started. Oh, no, you're fine. Hi, I say hi to her too. Hi. But no, honestly, starting in this industry, the first thing you want to find out about yourself is what kind of model you are. That's the first thing you want to decide. Like, are you a commercial model? Are you a print model? Are you a high fashion model? Are you a curvy model? Like, what kind of model you are? And then from there, that's when you figure out what agency you should submit to represent you. You want to go on the agency website, do your research. Figure out, do they represent a model like you? Do they represent your look or your kind of modeling? And then you go from there. So I would definitely start off with figuring out what kind of model you want to be, or what kind of model you are, and go from there. Let's see. And then another thing I would say, I would start off locally. If you're just starting off as a model, start off locally.
Okay.
So some people like get into the modeling industry thinking automatically they can go into New York, and it's like it doesn't
Yeah,
quite work that way.
they do.
Like
But
I
you know
hate to
what? A lot of,
rain on your parade, but you need your experience built up first.
but you
So
know what? I
definitely,
think, not to cut you off, but I think a lot of times they sell it that way though. When an agency will sell to you, oh, you can
true.
do this, you can do that, da 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 da, blah blah blah, and you're just like, oh, I can. And then all of a sudden, it's not working out the way we planned it. I think being honest and being very transparent when with your model, with their parents, depending on the age, I think honesty is the best policy. Especially letting them know, like, this is not going to be no overnight success. It could be, but letting them know this is not going to be overnight success, and we're going to have to actually, especially if you don't have no experience, letting them know, like, okay, this is the steps we're going to have to take, and being honest about it, and saying, and I tell models all the time that when it comes to an agency, saying that you have to pay a certain amount of money, and I know some people say they got to pay thousands and thousands of dollars just to, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? We're not
Trust
paying
me, people
thousands of
try to come to
dollars.
me with that, and I'm like, no, this doesn't seem right. Like, why would I have to pay for it now?
And I believe that if somebody really if an agency really believes in you, what they're going to do is they're going to actually make sure that you get photo shoots done. Make sure that you're getting trained, even if they got to train you themselves.
Right, they'll help develop you.
Don't be wrong. When my first agency, I have to give Ellen props because at the end of the day, she taught me a lot. She taught me about how to walk. Between her and my sister, I learned a lot from them too on how to walk, and then I started making it my own. I learned a lot on movement from Ellen as well, and I took it upon myself to learn more. And so there was a lot of pluses from me being with the person that, God, because when I met her, side note, when I met her, the director of the agency for, that's a shame.
You MMA? MMA.
Yes, girl. MMA. Yes. When I met her, I met her, but I was in a networking event, and I was in the process of writing children's books. I was thinking about children's books and stories about me and my kids, and I was trying to find somebody who could help me with that. And that's when she came up to me and she was looking at me, and I'm like, why is this woman looking at me and following me around this building? Right. So, and it turned into, that's why I was like, you never know where you're going to be and who you're going to run into. So I think attitude is very important. I think it's, and when God puts you in place, he opens doors for a reason. I didn't know I was going to be modeling. I was like, girl, bye. I wasn't thinking about that, but then I was like, why not give it a try? But
true.
Literally, I think it's just very important for models to understand, to basically God to direct your path. You might be going in for one thing and might get something totally different. So that's my rant.
Yeah, I would say definitely being open-minded too, because some people, and being honest and real with yourself. Like, I say you need to know what kind of model you are and see if they represent that kind of model, but you need to realize what you're good at. You need to understand and learn what you're good at, and then go from there as well. So it's not just all about what you want sometimes. It's also like what kind of model you are. What are you good at? Are you a commercial model? Are you a high fashion model? If you're more good at commercial, then definitely do that, and that's what you want to focus on.
So would you say not leaving your career in your sole career in someone's hands completely?
Exactly. Most definitely is definitely because you need to understand that you are a business. Yeah. So the agencies and agents, they're there to help manage you and help you get you in the door, but it's up to you to get the job. Yep. And keep the job. Like being a working model is all about having consistent clients, So it's up to you as the model, as the business that you are, that you represent, to keep and maintain that job, you know?
Yeah.
So I think too many models,
Right.
they, you know, they fade away because they depend on the agency. When in actuality, if you're passionate, that's another thing about this industry. To get into this industry, you have to be passionate about about this industry, because there's a lot of no's, there's a lot of things that can taint your self-esteem. So you
Yeah.
gotta have thick
You be like, what's
thick
wrong with
skin.
me? Like, I should have booked that. What's wrong with me?
Right, like,
Nothing's
what's wrong with
with
my look? Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, no, don't take it personally. It's a business. It's a
Yeah,
business.
I agree
So,
100% with that.
and then another thing I was saying about anyone that want to get into the industry, starting off I would say start off locally as well. And the only reason why I was saying that is you want to learn the do's and don'ts of being with an agency.
Yeah.
So from there, then from that experience, when you get to a bigger agency, you already know the protocol and how you should act and the things you should do to maintain being with that agency and getting the best out of the agency, because remember, they're representing you. So therefore making sure they're on their P's and Q's on what they should do. So definitely, I would just definitely say, you know, you build your experience up. So sometimes it's not always about having the biggest agency right away. Build up your experience.
I agree. And I'm going to piggyback on that by saying that when you start modeling, again, you have to come in as a student. A lot of people think, because there's stuff that you can be taught, even if you already know a little bit or even a lot, there's always something new to be taught.
I'm still learning myself.
Girl, me too. and the whole, and I'm just like, now we have, you know, social media and all kinds of stuff going on where people are what you call it the other day? Social media or Instagram models or something like that?
Influencers. Like being like a social, Instagram model, or like being an influencer, I would say more so.
And now that we have so many different avenues of doing, you know, of getting our faces out there, I think it's very important for people to
I lost you. Hold on. I was like,
I put my phone on not disturbed, but for some reason it's still being disturbed. So yeah, but I think it's very important to utilize the resources that we have as far as social media, as far as everything else, but also, again, being a student, somebody could teach you something that you may not know that could actually enhance your career as a model. And as models, we get actually paid very well if it's the right job. When I realized that you can actually get really paid, you should have saw that light bulb go off in my head. I was like, that's the type of check I can get. Working a regular 9 to 5 ain't gonna get me that, and maybe I get that in about half of a year.
Right.
But not actually, like, you really, really, really can get paid being a model. So I think it's very important to always continue to build who you are up, be able to accept rejection and know this is not you. You may not be what they're looking for with the vision that they had when they came up with the idea. A lot of people get offensive, like, why they ain't choose me? And I'm like, maybe you just ain't fit the vision that they had this year for their line. And it's not always about,
can't take it personally.
You really can't, because you just never know what the other person. It's just like if you create something, Terry, and you have your online store, and you're like, okay, I need models to be in these clothes so I can put pictures up on my website.
Right.
You have you're in your mind what you want that to look like. So you're gonna go off of who you're gonna pick from that clothing line or from the style that you want on your website. So I'm not gonna get offensive, even if we are girls. I'm not gonna get offensive because I'm like, Terry, you ain't gonna choose me though? Really? Like, we're supposed to be here. And you ain't gonna pick me. So I just think it's very important.
Can't take it personally in this industry at all.
Exactly. But But you find a lot of people, and I have to actually remind people all the time, like, girl, don't take that personal. It's just that job just wasn't for you. That means the Lord closed that door so you can get an even better one. And I've seen that happen plenty of times where a person didn't get this particular job. But that day that they were supposed to be there was another job that they actually did get that was a lot more money. And if they were there, they would have never got that one. So they got paid $400 over here. They would have took that, but this one they got about over 1,000 plus. I think I'll take 1,000 plus. I'll take that. So yeah,
seriously, me too.
So what's the next step as far as once you know who you are as a model, once you know your lane, what's the next step on? Yeah, what's the next step on moving forward when it comes to modeling?
I would say definitely taking digitals, submitting yourself. Obviously everyone doesn't start off modeling and have money to pay for like photo shoots and stylists and things of that nature. That's why it's good to know the basics of doing your makeup, doing your own hair. At least have one good hairstyle you know how to do. Like please
at least one.
help the team out. You gotta help you part of a team. Okay. But anyway, just knowing how to do the basics. And taking like simple basic like digitals of yourself, submitting it to different agencies, whether it's locally or in different cities that you potentially are interested in. I would say definitely do that. Submit yourself. Don't be afraid. I would say don't be afraid to put yourself out there, especially in this industry. It's your job. Because if you don't put yourself out there, how will people know if you exist?
Oh.
Oh, she's so sweet.
So once you put yourself out there, I wanted to piggyback on that as far as investing in yourself. Now, if you know that this is something that you want to do, and it's just in general, you know, you have a passion for it. And I tell everybody all the time, like I said, when it comes to staying in your lane, you could be a plus size model, you could be a hair model. You could be it's so many different lanes of modeling that people don't understand that there is. You can be on QVC just for your hair and get paid.
Yep.
So
body parts, hand modeling, and all that.
Feet, if you got some cute toes, it's anything.
That sounds so weird, but yeah, true.
It's anything. Like people don't understand. That's why I'm like, oh, and that's why when so many people come to me and like, well, I don't look like you, or I don't fit into this category. I was like, you don't have to fit into a certain category to be a model. There's so much more that you can do. And a lot of people don't understand that. And then I start telling them like, okay, well, you get your nails done, right? Okay, you got pretty hands?
Right.
Handle that and just make sure. I work too much with my hands that I already know hand model is not for me. It's not gonna work. I'm always doing something. That's why I'm getting my nails done.
I'm gonna stick to print work and being a fashion model. I'm gonna just stick to that.
Yeah, and then there's fitness. There's fitness modeling.
Yes.
And that's something I definitely want to get into more because I feel like I'm always doing fashion, but I haven't done fitness. But I'm like, when I realized that there was a such thing as fitness modeling, and that's crazy because I didn't really know too much about it. And when I discovered it, I was like, why ain't I doing it?
Right.
Because I have
you will be great at that. Yeah.
And I was like, but why? But that's where it comes in, not putting yourself in a box or allowing someone to put you in a box, knowing who you are as a model and what you want. And there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I'm going to learn as much as I can, learn the different parts of modeling, and then go into each and see which one fits me well, and whatever doesn't, drop that off and keep the ones that do. But now I want you to talk about when it comes to modeling, also how to book a job, where to go, and do you know where people can go and for castings and get information pertaining to castings and everything else? Do you know
it's not a certain place besides with agency. Well, there is also obviously online tools that like directors and casting directors also, they post different like jobs and locations and things that you can submit yourself to. Like I know Casting Network is like a big one.
Yes. That's where I get most of my jobs from. Don't sleep on Casting Network. Just because it's a subscription. I forgot how much they take out a month, but I pay mine yearly, and I think it's like $10 a month. But don't sleep on it, because if you put your photos
tons, yeah.
And mainly with Casting Network, they give you a lot of acting jobs. Have you tried acting yet, Terry? Have you tried acting yet?
No, I want to take classes before I even try, because I'm not going to even set myself up for failure. So,
okay, so
I do want to get into acting. It's something I am interested in, but I do want to take classes.
Yeah, I took classes.
Okay.
It didn't work out well for me, because
why?
It was the beginning of my career too, and it was very hard for me. Don't get me wrong. The people that now I'm so bad with names. Bernard Glingowski.
Wait, how you said that though? Okay.
Don't be mad at me if you see this, Bernard. Don't do it. But he's a great acting coach. He's amazing. He's done movies.
Okay.
And he's taught so many people. Like one guy he took this class with me, and he's acting now. Like, and he's done commercials. Awesome. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. But his class, I'm gonna have to post up and just put like go to this actor, just to make up for what I just did. But his class was amazing. It was just really me not being confident. That's why confidence is very important. Yeah. Not being confident within myself to know that I can act in front of people. I've always been scared. Like even me doing a live, I don't like to look at myself on camera.
Right.
I don't.
I'm not used to it either, except for like photo shoots and stuff. But like actually talking and stuff, like I said, I'm naturally like it's innate to be shy for me. I'm naturally shy. So to be doing this right now,
girl, that's why I'm just overcoming my fear.
Right, so, I'm a private person.
But I think it's very important. Like me, it didn't work out well for me. I think because it was in a group. Right. I think I need a one-on-one acting coach, because everybody's different. Right. But I think
very true.
Doing a commercial is like the easiest thing, because first of all, you're really not talking. You don't have a lot of lines to learn. It's just you might just make a couple gestures, or I'm eating. Like that's like some of the best commercials, because you ain't got to do nothing except for just make gestures. But like I've done that type of work, those type of commercials. But as far as acting like in a movie, don't be wrong, I do want to learn acting so well that I can actually be in a movie, and you'll be like, Catrice, like that's amazing. Like that's one thing, that's like a bucket list of mine that I want to accomplish. Like to actually be in a movie and be like into the character and just be amazing. Like, I feel like I have a little bit of that in me as far as being able to do that, because I know one time I did some playing around with Shelly Shell from Sing on the Saturday. Shout out to Sing on the Saturday Night. Playing around with Shelly Shell, she wanted me to be like in a Halloween type of commercial or whatever she was doing. So when I was there, I was very nervous. But when I saw that the person I was with was more nervous, that's when I guess that's the mother in me that was like, okay, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna be as best as I can so he can do his thing. Right. And I actually really did a good job. And Shelly was like, I can't with Catrice. Like, you came over here, you act like you didn't know what you was doing. You was acting all shy, being all scared, and you did excellent. Right. So when I see that there's someone, like that's just my character. When I see that there's someone in need, then I want to hop in and help them and save them in a way. So you already know, if we're ever acting together, I'm be like, okay, Terry, come on, girl, we could do this. But
so I'm gonna need all the encouragement.
Yes, but I think you would do really good. I can see you in commercials. I can see you doing all that stuff. But
oh, thank you. I keep saying I want to do a Colgate commercial.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. I was like, they're gonna put me in a commercial.
Right. Seriously, I'm like, hey, I can smile all day. I don't have to say one line. Just look, just like this.
Exactly. Okay. I actually did a photo shoot, and when I did the photo shoot, it actually looked like you would have thought I was in a Colgate commercial, because that's how it looked. I'm gonna put a picture up tomorrow too, just so you can see it. And I should have put Colgate right on the side. I should print, like somehow get Colgate right on it.
Oh,
But yeah, but besides that, but I know casting networks. I'm not sure. Hi,
hi, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet.
Miranda.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, Miranda. I think that's from Jefferson
Yep.
University. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, girl.
Oh, she's so
So
sweet. I love working with you.
yes, we miss y'all. We do.
Oh, I know.
And
Sucks
then
because
we
it was near the season.
yes, and then we completely missed out this year and even doing the fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all wasn't here. See, the corona happened. Y'all wasn't here. Hey, Sally. So
Hi. Welcome back.
yes. So casting networks. It's another one, but I've never went on that, and I think it's something with a B. It's like back or back office or something. It's something that someone else told me about, but I've never actually went on there. The only thing I use is casting networks. Do you use anything else besides casting networks?
No, it's either through my agency or casting network usually. So
okay. And have you ever tried to go out and do more outside of the agency as far as going after things that you want to do, as far as like reaching out to designers, reaching out to different people, saying, okay, if you're doing this, or you know what I mean?
Right. I think every model should do that in the sense of building their portfolio. Like in the sense of, but as far as job wise, it's one of those things where you gotta be careful. It's like a hit or miss with that when it comes to like trying to get a job outside of the agency, because it's like people can like chip you out of your payment because they know you're not represented, and that's kind of like a downfall of it. But usually if it comes to building my like portfolio, for instance, and like getting the images I want for my look and for my brand, I usually do go out to like reach out to different like hairstylists and stylists in general, photographers that I know they can get the images done and execute the idea and vision well. So yeah.
Because I know we were at a fashion show. No, not a fashion show, but as a matter of fact, we might have been at a fashion show. We were somewhere together. And I mentioned, I was like, I don't think it's really important to be doing all these, having a whole bunch of photo shoots. What you need all these photo shoots for? And you was like, I really don't agree with you. And then now I actually understand, because the fact that you do a lot, at the time you were doing a whole bunch of photo shoots, like back to back to back. Like you always had a photo that you showed up with that was new. And I was like, girl, I'm using the same 5 photos that I've been had for the longest. And it turned into, but now I understand, because even when I'm submitting to jobs now, even with the quarantine and everything else, and people, still needing models, I'm like, oh shoot, I need an all natural picture. I need certain things. And then I'm scrounging around trying to figure out how can I make this picture happen, when I could have had the opportunity to do it with a professional photographer and getting it done. So I already know I have to go and do a whole nother look of photos. First of all, updated photos, number one. Even though much ain't changed about me. My sister's like, you the ones you got. You ain't changed. You still the same. So I was like, all right, I can still use those, but at the same time, I want some with my natural hair. I want some with braids, because you never know who's gonna be like, okay, I can take you with braids in your hair, and that makes it so much easier without having to worry about your hair.
Like you seriously have to give like clients different looks, or like people different looks, so they never know what you offer until you show them sometimes. So it's great to always updating your portfolio. I would say update your portfolio, give different images, from bathing suit looks, high fashion looks, beauty looks, whether it has to do with makeup, your natural skin, hair, like giving different looks, giving different variations. So it's always good to show people what you can do, because trust me, I got a lot of different clients by doing that, like posting my work, posting what I'm good at. So
and I know,
that's another way to get clients.
Yeah, because you never know who's gonna be watching what or looking at it and be like, oh, you know what? I have somebody for you that might be perfect for this particular look that you're going for. So, but you said beauty, just for everybody, like if whoever's trying to update their portfolio and they don't know what to put in it, beauty, fashion, you need a commercial look.
Commercial look, definitely,
You definitely
commercial.
need something with your hair. What else? What else?
Trying to see. Fashion.
I think streetwear is important.
Streetwear, especially now, like you get a lot of, especially now you have a lot of ready to wear companies. So definitely streetwear, definitely.
And
that's huge right now.
And I believe when I was working with Stephen Hudgens, when I was working with him, he gave me a lot of great tips, and he said that a lot of models, he was like, you can tell the real models from the fake models. He was like, real models do not walk around with makeup on their face 24/7. He was like, he was like, a lot of times they're barefaced. They only wear makeup when they're getting paid to wear makeup. And I was like, you're right. So why? I don't need lipstick on. I don't need because I didn't really know how to do my own makeup anyway. So I was like, I'm going barefaced all the time. And that's how I normally was anyway.
Right.
And then he said, you need to be having the fact that you're just now trying to do, I think it was close to summer. It was something. He was like, the fact that you're just now trying to do your swimsuits, that's not the right time in the beginning of the summer. He was like, first of all, in winter, they're already the high professional models. They're focused already on their next stuff. In the winter, they're doing bathing suits. They're not doing bathing suits during right before the time or at the time. They already took care of that. So I think being ahead of the time and knowing when someone's doing something and paying attention to that is important. And also, like you said, taking care of your skin. Sometimes that can be very hard for a lot of people. I'm still working on it. I'm gonna
same here.
So,
I can't with you.
Take care of your skin.
Your body.
Yes. Because what you eat is going to affect your skin, number one.
And it's going to show in the camera and in the clothes.
Yes. It will.
Don't walk down on the What? I'm terrified. Every time I gotta wear a two-piece on the runway, I'm like, okay.
Yes, it's a process when trying to make sure, because you remember this is your business. This is business here, so you got to make sure you're taking care of it. So, is there anything else that you would give another model that is besides where to go? So far, Casting Networks, that's my favorite. But I'm sure there's other places that people can go and book jobs.
Yeah. Offhand, honestly, it's like one of those things, like even nowadays, because of social media is so big in the modeling industry now, which I had to get used to. That was so uncomfortable for me at first. Like social media is really okay, did I, obviously I took that all in. But because of social media being so big, posting your work and constantly be active on social media is a big part of it now. Like if you go into an open call for an agency, one of the questions is how many followers you have. I'm like, when I first saw that, I said,
I was like, what?
But then obviously you got, it's the world that we live in, is the day and age of the modeling industry, and you got to evolve with the industry.
Yeah, I agree.
Because else you're going to get left behind. So.
Yeah, but then another thing that I've learned also from working with other people that are very, very much so successful, they said, never be the person that's going to say, if somebody want to work with you, and then you go on their page and see that they don't have any followers, and you're like, I don't know if I want to work with you because you ain't popping. But you gotta. The thing is, a lot of people that are successful don't have a lot of followers. Some of them, and depending on the industry too. A lot of them, like you find someone that's an editor of a high fashion magazine or someone that's the director or whatever it is, you won't find them with a whole bunch of followers. They may have the bare minimum. And then your job is to not judge them because of that, but say, hold on, wait a minute. Let me just take a chance and see if this actually may work. And it has worked for me. When I come across people, I'm like, you know, because I'll check and see what's going on. I look on their page, see what they got going on.
If they have a website, that's big.
Yeah. And you have to be very careful. Matter of fact, we're going to touch on that part. When it comes to working with people that are, I'm just going to say fake. I'm going to say fake. The ones that will approach you and say, oh, do you want to do this photo shoot? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And they got all this stuff as far as that they're doing. And then you get there and you're like, what is this? I tell people no all the time when it comes to working with people. Because my brand, like you said, you're building your brand. Your brand is very important. You do not want to be in a situation where you get caught up and all of a sudden your brand is tainted because you did something that you wasn't planning on doing, or working with somebody that wasn't the right fit for you.
Yeah.
So, have you had that experience?
I'm trying to think, because with me, I have had that experience before, yes, to answer the question. But majority of the time, thank goodness I hadn't gone through that a whole lot. So that's why I barely can remember experiences like that. But I had experiences where it's like I had someone else be in charge of a photo shoot or something of that nature, or take control of it, and it just didn't come out right. It wasn't right for me and what I needed. So it's like literally legit photo shoots are done that I can't even use the images. I can't put that image in my book because it's not even the quality that it should be or that I need. So it's like I can't put it in my book. And then you gotta be careful with, I would say, doing any work outside of being an agency model, doing work outside of a agency, such as doing different photo shoots and stuff. You got to be careful with that, because some people, you never know what they're going to use the images for. So sometimes it's good to have that representation to look over people and their reputation and their previous work and stuff like that. That saved me a couple of times. So I will say that from my personal experience.
But I will add to that, depending on who you have representing you, you have to be able to ask a lot of questions and say, why? Because if you have somebody that's like, okay, I'm going to shoot you for free. And your agency's like, oh, let me, they'll shoot you for free, so that'll work out. And depending on how far you have in modeling, you have to be very careful. First of all, look at their image. Look at what they already have done, so that you can see that they're actually a really, really great photographer, so you can use the images. But also ask questions to make sure, just like you said, you don't know what they're going to do with them. If I take a photo shoot and I don't sign anything, or if I don't do certain things as far as the legal way, because I'm like, oh, it's my agency, I trust them, and then all of a sudden you're like, why I go online and I see my photo being sold for about a couple $1,000s. Where's my cut? Hold on, where's my cut? I want to know, because I've had that happen.
Yeah, my image is playing on a shirt right now, girl. I'm not gonna get into it though. I can't. Not right now.
I even contacted my agency, and I even contacted my the photographer, and I was like, excuse me, the pictures were beautiful. And I was like, so what was they supposed to be using my photos again? Oh, they just was doing she just wanted them like for her portfolio or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm going on the website and I'm trying to figure out why it says that you can get like a whole collage or a certain, like, you know, and they're selling it for a lot of money. And my face, my body is on it. So how we go from this being something that's pro bono to me making no money off of my photos. So I think it's very important that even if you have representation, doing your homework, asking questions, and not being afraid to say no. I am not going
Right.
to do something for free, because you don't know what the agency's getting for free. Because they could be saying, okay, I'm gonna use you, Catrice, because they want to shoot with you, to be
Right.
honest, and because they like your look. So what they're
Mhm.
gonna do is, just so I can get them to shoot other models for free, because they might be
Mhm.
new girls coming in. Let me make sure that if they get shoot for free, I can get these girls photos, because that's a great photographer. No. What we doing my pictures? Because to be honest, I couldn't use them for my book really, because
Mhm.
it wasn't really in the lane that I was going in. It was something else, and I was
Okay.
like, well, they're nice photos, but it's no need for me to put these in my book, because I'm not going for that. So, but that's something. It's really, when it comes to, you have to know the business. You have to know, and it takes time, because it took me some time to learn. But then when I started catching on, I was like, hold on,
Yes.
wait a minute,
Right. In the process, you learn. In the
I
process, you
got
will
this
learn.
now. Even though I'm
Mhm.
still learning more, but I started paying attention.
Mhm.
And also, when having an agency, making sure that you're protected. Because I feel like when it comes to an agency, I think that they should be there with you 100%, making sure that they're covering you, and making sure you basically stay out of trouble in a way.
Mhm.
So if you present, like, for example, say if I was like, okay, I want to, somebody presented an idea, shoot with me, and this is what the shoot they want to do.
Exactly.
And then I go to my agency and I'm like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? I
Mhm.
think it's very important for them to give you their honest advice on what to do and what not to do,
Mhm.
as far as that particular photo shoot or that particular job.
Very true.
So say, for example, if I wanted to be on a reality TV show and my agency is like, that's not a good look for you, I need them to say that this is not a good look. This is what possibly could happen if you go
Mhm.
on there. Like, it could ruin your career or whatever, it could happen.
Right. And
I
that
need
all
them to
goes
be.
back into like
Mm-hmm.
knowing what kind of like knowing being confident enough to say no. Because trust
Yeah,
me, it's been
a lot
jobs
of
where I'm
people
like,
don't.
no, it's not gonna work for me.
Yeah,
It's not part of my brand or something I do.
yeah,
Even like jobs that is presented by the agency for experience is like you gotta know where you are as
yeah.
far as your level. And it's like I will say no, and then they'll come back like, all right, they willing to pay you. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't
Okay.
cave in. You know how many times you know how many times that happened? I'm like, no.
Girl.
And then all of a
And
sudden
Terry
it
like,
big paying. I said, there you go.
and, and
You
Terry
just gotta
like,
know your
I
worth.
know what
You
I'm
gotta know your
doing.
capability and your
Yeah,
talent.
exactly. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I see so many people that don't know their capabilities or their talent. Because I was one of those people that did
Hmm.
not know. And then,
Yeah,
but I
trust me, I
learned
was
over
there
time.
too. Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you another question. I don't know how much time we got, but
Nothing
um,
popped up yet. I don't know. I think we're good.
okay. Who are some of your favorite people in fashion, as far as locally, internationally, when it comes to people you've worked with? Who are your favorite people?
Um, I would say, as far as like photographers, I would say like
Mhm.
Seven Hudgens. He played a big role in like me becoming like motivate me to go farther in the model industry. To be honest, I learned a lot through him, so he definitely played a big part of it for me.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm like confident in the model that I am now today.
Okay.
I work with like a lot of designers, even working for like the fashion schools, and a lot of my favorite designers are like from the fashion schools, believe it or not, because they're
Mhm.
so talented. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't believe you created something like this. It's so awesome. Like to this, and like now they grown and they have their own companies and everything. And I'm like, so like there's a design called Nikki
Mhm.
the brand is the name of her company.
Mhm.
There is um I don't want to mess up her name. I think it's not Nadisha. Nadisha is another
Mhm.
up and coming designer. Um, House of Nash. Okay, so she was the designer of House of Nash.
I think I know who
So
that. I think I know who that is.
yeah, so she's another great designer, up and coming designer that I love. Trying to see who else. Trying to see, there is Joan. Well, did you want to know about like the designers I work with, or just designers that I look up to, like people that I want to work with?
Just people in general that you just
Want to work with?
Want to work with, or you just find them to
Oh,
be
you know
amazing.
what? I love Kushni. You ever heard of Kushni? Is a
I've heard.
designer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I think I saw her like 2020 like spring summer collection or something like
Uh-huh.
that, and it was so beautiful. Like all the like different shades of like black models just running walking
Uh-huh.
down the runway with these vibrant colored dresses. I loved it. So definitely Kushni is definitely top for me. Because I love her designs. There is Laquan Smith. His stuff
Laquan
is
Smith. I
hot.
feel like I've heard of her or him. Is it her or him?
Him. Laquan Smith is a him.
Maybe I didn't then, but I'm gonna check. He going. I'm sure he got an Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. He does. He does. I love
Check it out.
Marc Jacobs. I love Marc Jacobs. I'm trying to see. And there's just plenty of so many designs that I work with that I just want to
Yeah,
continue to work with. Trying to see.
I know a
There.
lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot that are really, really great. Too many. It's a lot of them. Put it that way. I know. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to my next question. Since COVID has been around, how has it helped your career, or how has it affected your career?
So because obviously everything being shut down, a lot of like shows that are supposed to happen, photo shoots are supposed to happen, a lot has been postponed or canceled completely. As we talked about previously, even like designs we supposed to walk for, those shows were completely canceled. So yeah, so that has affected me as far as like booking like our jobs, the jobs that was booked already, like to come in like the springtime, and nope, never happened. Messing up my money, exactly. So that's definitely a big part of it. That definitely hindered in that sense. But I feel like I learned myself during this time too. Like, as far as the positives that came out of it, is like like far as like working out more and realizing how much I am into like fitness, and then me able to stand like be still and really know what I really want to do far as going forward, far as brand wise, company wise, me as a model, me as a businesswoman, just altogether. I feel like this time has helped me stand still where I can grow to really understand who I am.
So tapping into that, what are some things that you're working on now outside of modeling?
So before COVID, before all that, I actually just finished my final exam for my classes, for real estate classes. So I passed my classes, passed my final exam, and I was on my way to do my state exam for my license, but then COVID put that on postpone. But I'm working and studying on that right now as we speak, because I do want to sell real estate. It's always been a back and forth thing, and do I want to sell it or not? But I do want to sell it. But I know one thing is I'm definitely investing into properties. I want to own a few different properties. I want to make it, a stream of income for me and pass down a legacy and assets to my daughter, So yeah, definitely real estate, and then just overall working on my brand, and developing that as a brand and getting into the clothing side of things, fashion side of things.
Okay.
So
to go back into real estate, what were the steps you had to take in order to even get to? What were the steps as far as real estate was concerned that you had to do?
It's not as difficult as it seems, but definitely studying. It's a lot of reading, a lot of studying you do have to do during the classes. Um, I would just, if anyone was interested, I would just look up any local real estate classes that might be held nearby, near them. Other than that, just the biggest part of it was, the time you take out for it, of course. So you gotta be consistent with going to class, and then also studying. So because it's one of those things where you get like two. I think my teacher was telling me like it was like 2 times you had to try, and then you had to take the classes all over again. So
Oh no.
make sure you know the material, make sure you're studying, because it's no joke. Other than that, you're missing out on hundreds of dollars that you just put in.
I think, see, the thing is when it comes to tests, I have a little bit of a challenge with that. I went to go get my life insurance license, and there's a pretest. So I think I took the pretest. Yeah, there's a pretest. I took the pretest, I think 5 times. And when I took the pretest, like, because I kept on, like, I would remember half of the test.
Right.
And so I would remember, like, I would say the law part of it, but then I wouldn't know the other half. And then when I went back again, I wouldn't remember the law part and only remember the other half. So it was like back and forth. And then eventually, after me taking it multiple times, I passed it. But then when I got to taking the state test, I think I was like, I'm not taking this test again. I came there with full confidence, and I passed that test with flying colors, girl. Because
that's awesome.
So
you was over it. Like you were like, enough is enough. I'm gonna pass this today.
Yes, it took me some time, but I got it done. And I am actually thinking about going to go get, because I want to invest in property as well. I want to own multi-units. So I'm always asking people.
We have a remaining, sorry to interrupt, we have a remaining of 1 minute and 52 seconds, child.
Okay, so we talked about real estate. We talked about being professional as models. We talked about different agencies and how they can help us, add and know, our genre of modeling. I'm just saying something, girl. But my last question, because we are almost done. Matter of fact, no, I just want to go into basically sharing what agency you're with, like all that stuff, with closing stuff. What agency you're with, your Instagram, all that good stuff. You want to push out your measurements so people will know.
Now you'll get that on my comp card when you want me for a job.
I know that's right.
Or you go on my agency's website, which is Mercury Management. I am represented by Mercury Management. My Instagram is at I am Terri Lisa. Again, I am Terri Lisa. That is my Instagram. If you have Facebook, I don't know, that might be aging me, but Facebook is Terri Lisa Gord, Gord. Okay. So you can follow me there.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you to everyone, even though I'm on Terry's page. Thank you to everyone who tuned in to When Models Talk. Tune in to our next episode. I'm going to say episode of When Models Talk. I'll be talking to another model, or it could be a designer, it could be a photographer, anybody who's a photographer, designer that wants to come on and be interviewed and share, just a little bit about the industry and everything pertaining to what they do. I just want to say thank you again. And
bye.
Thank you.
It was fun. I had so much